I am my own boss, and fuck me. This is the most strict boss I ever had in my whole life. Even when I'm sick, he pushes me to work. He doesn't pay for over hours. He doesn't give me holidays. And when I'm at holidays, he makes me feel like I'm shit and not worth it and I shouldn't be doing this. So yeah, I'm working a lot right now. I don't have work-life balance. If somebody looked at my life right now, I'd be like, take some time off, and I don't. Nobody can teach you about how to deal with churn. You can only learn it through experiencing it yourself. It doesn't matter what gets us going, but we have to use this fuel.
There's always that saying that the sun is always there, even on cloudy days, we simply can't see it. I think if we don't try, we will never find out.
It is now 8:30, Friday the 15th of May. So I didn't take any videos, I think last week, and neither this week. I got focused on different things. So work-wise, it's going good in the sense that we are stable, our MRR is stable, but we don't have like this steep growth anymore at this moment, which we had, for example, beginning of the year. There's so much you can do to go from 0 to like 10K, and then I think the path that you have to take from 10K to 100 plus MRR, it's not about just doing more of what you have done already. It is maintaining what you have done already while adding scalable actions on top. And I think we should try and figure out which ones these actions are. Just let me turn on the lights. We have decided to go forwards with working students to help me in sales. So founders associates, which is basically like somebody who helps with sales in working together with the founder, which is me. It's going to be my long-time old friends. I like building things together with friends and people you already know, because like working with somebody is a mixture between personal and skill fit, or like a personal skill and a skill-wise fit. And so like if you're hiring, you always have to think, okay, is this person somebody I can work with? And is this person somebody I should work with? But in this case, like I know I can work with him. Done. Perfect. I know this is like, I can trust him and he's reliable. So this makes onboarding way more streamlined. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a huge investment for us. The biggest one that we have done so far. It's the first time we actually hire somebody. So yeah, this is a big commitment, but I think this is going to help us test out even quicker, like different ways that we could take, or different directions. Right now it's just about like maintaining what we have done already, while really like testing out as many different target audience wordings, promises, which will bring us to the 50K, for example. Yeah, one more very exciting news. I'll go to Germany, June, July, August probably, to attend business events, something that I haven't done in the past 2 years or 3 years. So I'm really looking forward to that, especially getting in contact with, like meeting actual clients that have been with us for years already. And of course, I'll spend time with my co-founder, sitting together. We're working on a very exciting feature right now. It's going to be one of these features again where we like kind of change the idea of how people approach C-level branding and ghostwriting. So I think it's going to be a huge one. I'm really excited for that one. Right now I'm having breakfast, and then I will get into the car and we're going to drive to Florianopolis to meet a friend and go camping, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to show you guys the current weather situation outside. It is cold. All right, as you can see, it's rainy. It will be raining for the next 2 or 3 days. We're going to drive into the mountains, so it's roughly 0 degrees at night, and it's rain for the next 2 or 3 days. So yeah, we're just going to go anyway. Let's see. I'm going to take my camera with me. If this is my last video, you know the camping trip didn't go well. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm in the Uno mobile with my driver Dominic.
What's up?
There you go. The guy I told you about was also from Itzingen, my neighbor village in Germany. The town. And well, just 2 things. First of all, my co-founder Nico just sent me notification that Shield is no longer. Shield was the #1 analytics tool for LinkedIn. I've been using it for most of my professional career, working as a ghostwriter, like 5 years. Yeah, they got shut down. They were relying on Chrome extensions. And as we know, Chrome extensions are not LinkedIn compliant. So basically LinkedIn just deleted the company page and Google took their extensions out of their store. They won't be coming back. I mean, that sucks. Putting like 11 years of your time into building a company, and one day to the next, your company is gone. And I'm just very grateful that from the beginning on, we decided to build a LinkedIn tool that's 100% LinkedIn compliant, so that we know that our company is safe, but also for our users, right? Using Container, so that they know that everything's safe. We decided to think this long-term rather than short-term. So today's Friday, right? I told you guys already, and I'm taking a day off. I think first one in, I don't know, to go camping. So this is not my car, this is the beautiful Uno of Dominic. The hater, as we say in Brazil. Unbreakable car. And we're on our way to, what's the name? Grão-Pará. You can check this guy out, by the way, on Instagram. It's Kurpark, like literally, like the German words, Kurpark, São Bonifácio, because he's doing trips south of Brazil. So if you want to have any recommendations, you can always feel free to ask me, or even better, that guy. He has better advice than me. Break for some food, probably pumpkin queijo, the most important food in all of Brazil.
Weather forecast was sunny the whole week, and then suddenly it changed to 90 or 1% chance of rain. Is that really worth it? Like, should we do this? Shouldn't we? Should we postpone it? And after many hesitations, we were like, no, fuck it. Everything was already packed in the car and stuff. Like, everything was already set up. And I was like, nah, whatever. We're just gonna go. Cloudy, like we're basically in the clouds. And I was like, well, I'm already here. It was a 6 or 7 hour drive. It's fucking cold. It's raining. You're gonna sleep in a tent. Hopefully it's not too wet inside.
Nicht der Kaffee.
There was a hike to the top of the mountain. And everybody was said like, nah, don't go, it's not going to be worth it, it's going to be rainy, like you won't see anything. I was like, well, I'm already here. I'm just going to climb this fucking mountain. 2 hours in, we were already climbing the steep mountain. And I remember us like talking and thinking like, man, imagine we arrived on the top of the mountain and suddenly like the sky opened up. Like, yeah, very unlikely, but imagine how this would be. The sun completely came out, and below us it was raining, right in the campsites and everything. But we were above the clouds within the sun, and the view was just incredible. We were alone, nobody was there. An incredible moment. So the last days I've been working quite a lot, more than usual. And I had a friend who came over to have dinner together with me. And she realized that I was like not feeling good. And she tried to motivate me. So she told me, hey Sven, just think about all the things that you want to achieve. Your house at the beach, a bigger car, and whatever. This didn't motivate me. Like I didn't feel anything at all. I didn't feel more motivated afterwards. I realized that there are two types of motivation. Motivation one is called away from. And this is usually what gets you started. Motivation two is called towards to. And this is usually what keeps you going. And I'm going to explain this with me as an example, what I mean by that. So let's focus on motivation one first. So some background information here. When I was a child, I was never really popular. In fact, like I had some issues with bullying. I always felt kind of left out by my peers. I felt like I didn't belong. And I think this left some marks. And I always wanted to get away from that feeling of not being enough, not being respected. I think this was one of the reasons which motivated so much to become self-employed. Because I wanted to prove to others, but also to myself, that I am capable of doing this. It doesn't matter what gets us going, but we have to use this fuel. It doesn't help me if somebody tells me like, hey, think about all of these ideas in the future, because I'm not driven by towards to, I'm still driven by away from. So for example, maybe you're poor, you want to get away from that. You're in pain, you want to get away from that. This is the biggest motivation. Knowing that this motivation burns very bright, but we can't use it forever because eventually this will burn us out. And this is where motivation 2 comes into play, towards 2. I've achieved it. I got away from that, from poverty, not feeling respected. And I think once you got that, you can focus more on your goals that lay in front of you, like what actually drives you. I think more long term. And I think this is okay. I think we have to use the fuel that we have at given moments and drive on this fuel as long as you can. Hopefully at one point I will be able to like get rid of this fuel number 1 and change to a more, like a fuel that burns less bright, but it doesn't consume me.
Festgelegt für mich, ich möchte irgendwann wie ein armer Mann leben, aber ein reicher Mann sein. Weil das ist cool. Wiederum aber ein armer Mann sein, aber wie ein reicher Mann leben wollen, das geht wiederum nicht.
It's now Thursday, 21st of May, 13 o'clock, which means I'm already working since 5.5 hours. I started 7:30 this morning, worked non-stop until now. The tasks today were pretty fun. So I had an onboarding call with my old buddy Marco. I had a sales call with somebody from India. As a perfect fit. He's going to be a client. I'm pretty sure about that. Is the first clients now that came through the whole Shield situation of Shield shutting down. I've posted online about this, that whoever used Shield before gets a 50% discount on the first month. We have 4 people requesting a demo of how Contea works, because everybody's like in needs for some analytics for their client projects, and there's just nothing on the market right now. So we really have to like lean into this one right now. Tiring. So tomorrow we already have like 1, 2, 3, 4 sales calls. Everybody talks about work-life balance and stuff. Like there has to be work-life balance in every single day. And I disagree. I don't even think there has to be work-life balance in every single week or month. I think we have to look at this from a perspective of lifetime. So maybe for 1 year you don't have fucking work-life balance. You're just like working like a motherfucker. But because of that, the next year you can take the foot from the pedal and relax. And it's tiring. I'm also frustrated. There's so much potential. It seems like I can't really, like, it's like sand running through my fingers and I'm just trying to like grab as much as I can. But as part of it, I'm happy that there are many opportunities showing right now. So yeah, just trying to make the best out of it and work my way through it. All right, it's now 14:30. I feel like today there's too much work. So I just ate at home. Luckily I had some food from yesterday. So usually what I do, this is a bad habit. I watch YouTube videos while I have lunch, which is maybe what you're doing right now. Maybe. And this is quality content, right? One thing I realized is that it really helps me to relax or recover if I go outside a bit. So I'm just going to use the time to walk over to the fader, to buy some fruit, some vegetables, be a little bit in the sun, drink coffee, and yeah, enjoy the weather, and then get back to work. It's now 7 o'clock in the evening. It's been a tough day. Really tough. There are so many decisions I have to take on a daily basis. I just realized that after work, like my private life, I have decision fatigue. I just don't want to take decisions anymore. Like if a friend asks me, like, where do you want to go for dinner? Like I can't take decisions anymore. Like they just feel overwhelming because like I feel we have a different contingent of decisions we can take per day. And at one point this contingent is just used up. When I worked for a company, I always hated the idea of having a job that is monkey work. You just have to like execute, right? You have a boss telling you exactly what to do. Being self-employed, I realized that you need a boss telling you exactly what to do so you don't like lose your mind and just have some time to execute, because in execution you make the money. And it can be so liberating. When you're self-employed, it's not that you don't have a boss anymore. You have to be your own boss. You have to be really strict with yourself. You have to have like one day maybe in a week where you align everything, like the strategy for the next week. And then the next 7 days, you just execute. You don't think. I am my own boss. And fuck me. This is the most strict boss I ever had in my whole life. Doesn't give days off. Like even when I'm sick, he pushes me to work. He doesn't pay for over hours. Nothing. It doesn't give me holidays. And when I'm at holidays, he makes me feel like I'm shit and not worth it and I shouldn't be doing this. Tomorrow I have 6 meetings, 4 of them being sales calls, 1 of them being a second onboarding and co-working session with our new working student Marco. It will be like 5 meetings back to back to back without break for 5 hours straight. And so now I will push myself to hit the gym. Back day, really tired, didn't sleep well. Probably won't do my whole routine. We do like 2 or 3 exercises just to stick to the routine and then try to go to bed. Alright, so also some real talk. So one thing that really sucks is churn. Churn can happen instantly.
So ist es auch schön.
Dauert es normalerweise länger bei dieser Prozess.
Like you don't have any churn and suddenly you have a lot of churn. Like so over the last 5 days, 2 weeks we had like 5 people churning. You don't exactly know why. Like, is it a product? Is it just bad luck? Is it a change in the market? Yeah, it sucks every time and you're like, fuck. As a founder, you always want to have the feeling that you're moving forwards. But when you're having churn, it feels like you're doing sales just to compensate for the churn. So you don't feel like you're doing actually progress, even though you're closing contracts. Nobody can teach you about how to deal with churn. You can only learn it through experiencing it yourself. And I think being a founder is all about resistance. And resistance doesn't mean not feeling bothered. Resistance means how long you take to snap out of it again and get back to work again. And the more resistant I grow, the less time I will need to bounce back. Let's take a break and then get back to work. I don't want to seem too poetic now or too philosophical or whatever, or spiritual even. But there's always that saying that the sun is always there. Even on cloudy days, we simply can't see it. Or especially like last days and weeks now, you're going to see this in the next vlog. It's a bit of a tough time, like a little bit of a downer. And I try to remember that. It doesn't have to keep us from doing the thing or pursuing the things that we set out to do. And I think it's the same as for business. Like, we set out for something. And we schedule and we plan ahead and we prepare, and then suddenly we arrive somewhere like everything like just shit is hitting the fan. We were not prepared for that. We're not thinking about like this kind of condition. We're like, well, that's unfair. In fact, it isn't, and I think this is part of it. And I think we just have to believe in the journey, not even the goal, because we don't know if we will arrive there or how it is going to be if we arrive there. Maybe it's going to be sunny, maybe it's going to be even worse, raining, thunderstorm. But we do it anyway. Even if it's unlikely, we believe in this 0.1% of chance that this might turn out right. So yeah, these were my thoughts looking back, and hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful week. Keep pushing, keep going through the thunderstorm, the clouds, the rain, whatever you're encountering, and hopefully this also will be worth it once you arrive at the top.